Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Daniela from Ocean Jasper, and today we're going to have a look into your love life, what is coming towards you in the near future. We have 3 piles that you can choose from, so I would suggest to pause the video or take a minute to see which of these 3 cards or 3 crystals or 3 OM staves you resonate with the most, so you feel the most drawn to. Firstly, we have the cartwheel in pile number 1 with the transformation message, the rainbow Jasper, and the gorse OM stave. Pile number 2, we have the grout card with the squirrel, the amazonite crystal, and the oak OM stave. Pile number 3 has the nourish card with the panda, the peridot crystal, and the heather OM stave. You can find the timestamps in the info box below. So take a minute, you can close your eyes, you can take a few breaths in, and whenever you open up your eyes again, see whichever of these 3 piles you feel most drawn to. But it's absolutely possible to choose more than a pile as well. If you feel undecided between one or the other, it could be that you have a mix of messages in both of them, or they integrate together to give you the full picture. So before we go ahead, I just want to remind you that I'm always available for private readings. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find the email in the info box below. There's prices that covers all sort of affordabilities, and there is a discount as well for my current clients already, my previous clients already, and I am looking forward to receive your messages. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this video, if it resonated with you or not, and feel free as well to check out my other videos and my other channel, which is called Elder and Oak Tarot, and is more focused on other themes that are not romantic related. So anything related to personal growth, spiritual journey, messages from your grandmas, your granddad, people that has passed away, from your spirit guides, etc. So I'd love to see you there as well. Thank you so much for passing by and giving this video a chance, and forgive me to all of you that knows me for my huge absence. So I have found myself in a place that didn't seem to be allowing me to blossom in the sense of my creativity. So I had a huge creative block, probably because I do prefer to create in a space that is silent and is quiet, and I have freedom to be myself. But if there's a lot of noise and people moving past my door and conversations going on, I get extremely distracted, or else I feel spiritual attacks or feel judged, etc. And so it really drains me, and I haven't been able to let the creativity flow as much as I would like to. But whenever I have a moment of peace, I am so thrilled to come back here. So thank you for your patience and for still believing in me. And even if you don't see me uploading videos, I'm always available on the background for private readings. So I'm not falling into the abyss. I'm still here. Sending you a big hug, and see you soon. Much love. Bye bye. Hello there. If you have chosen pile number 1 with the rainbow Jasper, the transformation card with the wheel card, and the gorse OM stave, this is the reading for you. So before we go ahead with the actual prediction, I wanted to make sure that this was the right pile for you. So I have asked, what is your current situation? And it was answered with the first 3 cards that I have there. And after that, we're gonna start the actual prediction. But what I'm seeing here with the 10 of Pentacles, the Sun in the reverse position, and the Strength card, what I'm seeing here is that you are coming from a place in which you thought you had a really solid foundation. You thought you were happy. You thought you were in a beautiful union. Perhaps you even built a family, or you were thinking of building a family. The 10 of Pentacles is the last stop of a really long journey in which you have put a lot of energy, effort, money, and everything was done meticulously, cautiously, slow and with purpose, slowly and with purpose. So nothing was rushed, everything was thought through. So in order to avoid any bad surprise, but here you are, this foundation, it seems to have been threatened. The solidity of this foundation it seems to be shaky now with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It could be that right now you're feeling upset, you're feeling disappointed, you're feeling like you cannot count on this person anymore, you feel like your dream is being broken, is being fragmented. That's what I'm hearing. Just like the image that I got is like a mirror breaking in lots of different fragments. And the Sun in reverse as well is a card that could bring depression, unhappiness. Your life force energy is not flowing so much anymore. Perhaps there is a sunny day outside and you don't feel like going out. And you're not seeing the opportunities that are coming your way. You might simply feel like staying home and cry. And but at the same time, you are being extremely strong. I feel like in the face of others, if you have kids, in the face of your kids, or if you have friends in common with your partner, you are showing a lot of strength. You're showing integrity as well, I'm hearing. And you are not showing to the world how many million pieces you feel broken on the inside, and you're just showing to the world, I believe that what you put out into the world will come back eventually. I believe in the good of people. I believe that if this is meant to be healed, it will heal. If my person is meant to be with me, it will come back. And if not, I believe in my own inner strength, and that this was meant to be, and that we'll be fine. Me and my family will be fine. So you're showing a lot of, what's the word I'm hearing? You're being very kind towards this person as well. You're not trying to blame them. You're not trying to shame them in public. You're being very magnanimous towards this person, no matter how much they could have hurt you. You are being the noble person here. You're being the wisest person on in the room. So if this resonates, feel free to, stay for the rest of the reading. So I'm seeing Page of Pentacles in the reverse position, Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords in the reverse position. So the Three of Wands is a very hopeful card. It's somebody that is trying to find hope and opportunities and ahead. He's trying to plan ahead. Is like this author is looking on the horizon to see what's coming. It's also the card of waiting, just like a person that has finally made a decision to live abroad, has bought the ticket, but now he's waiting for the right time to go, is waiting for the actual date of the flight, and in the meantime you are preparing your luggage, you are booking your hotel or your school, or you're getting the details of the job that you're gonna start overseas. And so it's all about planning and waiting at the same time, and also feeling extremely hopeful about the future. And at the same time, we have the Page of Pentacles. It could be that you are starting anew. You are deciding to be a student again of life, or in an actual school or organization or university. It is in reverse though, so there could be this fear of, Am I too old to start college? Am I gonna look ridiculous? There's a bit of insecurities here. Or even if that is not the case, there could be a bit of insecurities about being a student, about you know being crap at something because you haven't practiced it for at all since you were alive. You never tried this. You never, obviously when you first start playing piano, you're not going to be great the first day. So there is a bit of embarrassment of being terrible at something. And even though there is this hope to be great at it one day. So it brings a lot of humility, and the need to be humble in the journey. Um, the Page of Pentacles, it could also be you looking for a new person that would like to provide for you, they would like to settle down with you, but it seems like in the near future, it seems like you're gonna wait and you're gonna try and make a good plan, and you're gonna put efforts, you're gonna put yourself out there. But with these Page of Pentacles, it seems like you're gonna find a lot of people that are actually not a good match for you, or that they're not as ready as you are to settle down, to create something meaningful, or yeah, they could seem intimidated by you, or they simply could feel immature. Not that they are bad people, they seem very pure and genuine and kind, just not at the same level as you are, in the sense of putting roots in a connection. And so what I'm seeing here with that Seven of Swords is the attempt of not self-sabotage yourself. So there could be the risk of seeing more than that is if you are opening yourself up to dating. There could be the risk of either not giving a chance to these people, because you think that you can see already the future by looking at them on the first date, and you just decide not to give these people a chance, and you're like, nah, this is not gonna work. And it's actually in fact a form of self-sabotage, because perhaps there's something deeper inside of you that is telling you that you're not ready, or that you're scared to be rejected again, that you're scared to be to put yourself out there and have your heart broken again. So it seems like you are putting yourself out there, but in fact you're turning everybody down because you think they're not good enough for you, but you decide that very very early on without giving them a proper chance. Or on the other side, you could sabotage yourself in the sense of seeing in these people something great, even though you can tell that they are still a baby version of what you would like to get in a partner, but you think that you could help them to grow. And so you're focusing on the horizon instead of focusing on the present. You're focusing on what they could become, and this is another form of self-sabotage, because perhaps you subconsciously believe that you're not worthy yet of the more evolved version of this partner. You think you're attracting the baby version because this is what you actually deserve. This could be a subconscious belief. So let's get more cards to find out more about your love life in the near future. I'm gonna use an oracle deck. It's called the Everglow, that has lots of elements inside, including numerology and astrology and oracle messages. So it's going to give us way more details than a normal oracle card. Please and thank you for pile number 1. What's coming towards them in love? Please and thank you. Let's see if there is, among all these people that you're apparently opening yourself up to, if there's anybody that is actually going to catch your attention and allow you to put your barriers down. Projections. It's funny that we were talking about the subconscious, and this card resembles pretty much the moon card in tarot, which is all about diving into your emotions and finding out what is hidden. We have determination, and we have movement. So I feel like there is going to be a lot of activity. This movement card reminds me of the Eight of Wands as well. And the determination card reminds me of the Wand suits in general. So it feels like you are determined to find your person. And also the seahorse represents a partner that stays for life. And that is also the male of the seahorse take care of the kids. So it gives me this feeling that you're determined to find the right partner that is going to be giving you exactly what you're looking for. And but you'll have to travel towards the troubles of projecting your insecurities towards them. So let's find out more about this. I'm wondering as well, if you're going to find a person that is physically active, that has a very big dream that they are determined to achieve, somebody that is going to be quite similar to you in the way you see life, but also especially in your emotional world, that you can kind of mirror each other. As you can see, this I believe is a vulture or a massive crow is reflecting its image in the ocean. So I feel like you're going to find somebody that, is going to mirror yourself. Perhaps you guys are going to find each other in a course. If you're going to do, like a painting class, photography class, drawing class, whatever that is, or if you're going to the gym even, something that you always thought you wanted to do, but then you kind of postponed it. If that's the case, the Seven of Swords in reverse could also be you, sometimes deciding, to sabotage it and decide, even though I paid for it for the whole month, I don't really feel like going today. So that's why it seems like if you're going to find somebody there, it's going to be a very slow progress. This new beginning is going to feel very, very slow with the page. There's going to be a few opportunities for the two of you to actually speak and get to know each other. But the few times that you feel like you can see yourself in the other person, and it feels like both of you are gonna feel quite determined to create a better situation in which you guys can actually hang out and not just in that class. So that's one of the scenarios that I'm seeing. And perhaps you decide to go for a run or decide to go for a little trip. There is some movement involved in the activities that you guys would like to share. Although there is a part of you that could be like, maybe I'm not gonna go. You might be saying, yeah, let's do this. And then you're gonna be tempted of being like, I don't really feel like. Okay, let's find out more about what's coming in love for pile number 1. The card number 4. And again, it was in reverse. So this is the card of foundation and security and hard work and stability. And it's in reverse. So again, it feels like even if you find a person right now, you really need to pay attention to how stable you feel on the inside in your inner life as well, how grounded you're feeling, how safe you're feeling in a new relationship, or if the experiences from the past are going to make you turn into a very controlling person that want to micromanage the relationship, that cannot trust the other person. So you have to try and wait for the right time. Perhaps that's why the Page of Pentacles is in the reverse position, because if you jump straight into a new relationship, those foundations are still going to be shaky, and you have the risk to project your insecurities towards the other person. Let's say you have been cheated on in the previous relationship, then you jump onto a new relationship, and this new person let's say they're going to cancel a date for an inexplicable reason, or they're not going to text you every single hour. There is something about them that is going to make you feel like they are cheating on me. They're not actually interested in me, but that is not the case at all. And they were simply having an emergency with their granny, for example. And so there is that risk of seeing in this new person the one from the past that hurt you, even though they are completely innocent. Okay, so that is a risk. Let's see what else I'm getting. Okay, there is a card of the past, and it was again in reverse. Influence from the past may include there is influence from the past being carried through into the future. That's what I'm getting. Although you have to, because it's in reverse, it carries more the messages of nostalgia, as well as pain and fear, previous outcomes. Yeah, there is this fear that the situation is going to end up in the same way, and there is that risk that sometimes you could create the same reality because you're just so determined to see the world through those lenses that you have because of your past that hasn't been healed just yet. And then the third card is the ninth house. The ninth house is all about higher education, is about traveling, is about religions, is about psychology, is about, your beliefs, as well as foreign cultures. And so interesting. We have movement, and then we have the card of distant travel. It's also a revelation. So I feel that you are going to attract an opportunity to travel. Either with this new person or on your own. And that is going to help you to recognize your self-sabotaging attitude. Let's find out more about that. Movement, distant travel, foreign cultures. It's also the card of publications. The house of publication. I wonder. I wonder if you're trying, once you realize your patterns, you're going to learn more about yourself, and then you're going to realize, okay, you know what, perhaps I need to go for a trip. Perhaps I need to go and publish that book that I wrote 3 years ago. Perhaps I need to just focus on myself for now. That there's going to be a revelation. A revelation about yourself, perhaps. Perhaps you're going to turn into a new religion that you never considered before. A new philosophies, whether it's Buddhism, Taoism, astrology, whatever that is going to help you find your path. Let's find out more, please and thank you. Balance, moderation, relationship, partnership. Okay, so if this card is actually clarifying the ninth house and the 10th, then there's harmony. The two card is definitely the card. It reminds me of the two of cups. It's the cards of harmonious relationships. So I feel like you're going to be presented with the choice, perhaps to go on a trip with this person. Or with a decision, a very important decision. Yeah. Let's see the next card. 11th house, hopes and dreams and friends, future goals. Okay, so it could go either way. Either it could be a trip with your friends, it could be a trip that is going to allow you to nourish your higher dreams. I feel that this is experience, no matter what, is going to transform you for the better because of this cartwheel that you have chosen in the first place. I'm going to get some cards from the Romance Angel cards. So you are going to come out of this experience as a different version of yourself. What I'm getting definitely is that you're going to try, you're going to go out in the pond fishing for the fishes and eventually realizing, okay, this is triggering something within myself. I'm either pushing them away because they're too similar to me or because they remind me of the past, or I'm seeing something in them that is not there. So perhaps I have to find out what other hopes and dreams and goals I have for me in my life and make a really important decision that is including, perhaps, like I said, higher education, religion, traveling, and publishing, so I feel that this is going to transform you as a person, and it's going to, your inner compass is going to change direction. That's what I'm getting here. What's coming in pile number 1's love life? Oopsie, the whole deck was about to fall. Also, the fact that 3 of those oracle cards that you got, they all seem to be connected to the sea in a way. It makes me feel that you're really going to try and analyze your feelings as much as possible, that you're going to sit with them, and it is going to be an emotional journey, that you're going to transform yourself, especially on an emotional level. Children, your love life is being affected by children. So it could be that for the majority of you, this is a situation in which you guys already had kids, already had a family, and you have to be strong for them now that the foundation started to be shaky, and the person had to leave. So they are definitely going to be impacting the future of your romantic life, because obviously they do receive the priority. They do their well-being is extremely important, and you don't want to disappoint them. Deception, you don't want to bring somebody in the house that looks like it's going to be their new father, and then in fact it is going to disappear after a month. So there is a lot of pressure here in finding the perfect partner, and that also could be the reason why you're going to pushing them away on the first date already, because you seem to see red flags really early on, even though like we said earlier, it could be affected by how by your previous experiences, of course. There is free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So this is the transformation is about taking control of your life. That's what I'm getting. So you don't want the happiness of your family to be depending on an external person that is coming there for you. Yeah, codependency. You do not want to be codependent to somebody. Because right now you feel like the risk to be disappointed is too high, and you don't want to put yourself or the people that depend on you through that again. But that doesn't mean that you're not gonna keep calling your soulmate. You're gonna keep praying for it to happen, and it's important that you're going to have a positive image of this person coming towards you, and that you're slowly cleansing yourself from the past and stop believing that whatever happened to you has to keep happening over and over again. You had your lessons. If you learn from them, you don't have to repeat them again. And then, oh, look at this. Give your relationship a chance. So there is also the opportunity, the possibility that after this journey through the ocean, through all of these, ups and downs of your emotions, eventually you could be deciding, you know what? Actually, I cannot find a person that is just like my ex. Maybe we need to give ourselves a new chance. Maybe he is my soulmate. Yeah, this is quite surprising for me too. But it feels like if that is the case, then you're gonna come back together transformed for the better. And it is going to, yeah, it feels like you guys are simply taking a little retreat, disconnecting from each other for a little bit, and then coming back together more whole than before. That's what I'm getting. Also, it's important to notice how the gorse oven stave. I don't know how it didn't pop up in my head to talk about this earlier, but actually it does speak as well about movement and necessary journeys, and it could be used as an amulet to protect yourself from possible obstacles throughout a trip. So it reminds me again, oopsie, the whole deck fell like it wanted to before already. And yeah, it could be, and also the cartwheel again is a symbol that you have to go somewhere. You have to take a trip. Perhaps you're gonna go on a retreat to see things differently. And the gorse is also the card, the ogham of lastness and life force energy that needs to go somewhere, needs to be directed towards a purposeful goal. And if not, then it can create risks and put you in trouble. So it is important to direct it in towards the right cause. So it's very interesting. It really seems like for a lot of you, you guys are going to find your answer through some type of movement, some type of journey, necessary journey, that is going to inspire you, and that is going to allow you to find again the passion that you have in life in general, or to reignite the passion that you have towards your ex or the partner that you had issues with recently, so that you can, guys, cleanse the relationship and have a beautiful renewal. That is what I'm getting. If you guys would like to know more about it or dive deeper into your situation, please feel free to get in touch with me and get a private reading. We can get loads more cards and ask way more specific questions. Thank you so much for listening up until now, and I hope you will stick around, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, hit the like buttons and share your thoughts if you wish. Much love. Thanks so much. See you soon. Hello my loves, and welcome to your reading. If you have chosen pile number 2 with the Oak OM Save, the Amazonite Crystal, and the Growth card with the Squirrel. So I have decided to first of all, get 3 cards to answer to the question what is going on in their current life at the moment regarding romance. So the first 3 cards up here, they will be able to answer this, and then we'll go ahead with the prediction. We'll get more oracle cards as well to clarify it and to get more details out of it. But I sense that this pile is going to resonate to people that are currently most likely single, but that are opening themselves up to a new chapter, to a new world, to a new reality. And they are working on themselves, on believing that they are divine, believing that they are beautiful, that they are worthy of love, believing that they have inner power, inner strength, believing that they are magical, and believing that they are a queen or a king. It is a process. There is still there is still some work to be done, but it's amazing that you have got the Empress card. So it's a card of self-empowering, it's a card of self-love, and it's a card of canceling all sort of previous conditioning that had made you believe that you weren't lovable in the shape that you came on earth with, that you weren't lovable if you haven't had thick, long, lashing hair, if you didn't have a wasp shaped what do you call it, waistline, or if you weren't really tall and super skinny, and if you didn't look like an actress on the first page of a magazine. So, and all sorts of things that have been really damaging in the previous generations. So there is a lot of self-work happening here, and you are consciously creating a new reality for yourself where your beliefs of yourself have changed, and therefore you are consciously attracting new partners that are aligned with your current beliefs. There is a lot of shadow work that is happening as well because of the moon card in reverse. You're really diving deep into your emotional world, into your inner fears, your hidden dreams, the things you never had the courage to face, that belong to the past, previous hurts, or sometimes we find it hard to admit that certain people have hurt us, especially if they belong to our family, and we would feel like offending them if we ever even thought that they have done anything to hurt us. And I feel that this moon in reverse card is actually allowing you to bring back up the surface all skeletons, things that you really didn't have courage before to face, because they aren't pretty. Okay, so if you feel like you resonate with whatever I said up until now, this is your reading. So welcome. I'm so happy you have found it, and I hope you're going to find the right messages for you. So in the near future, what I'm seeing here is that you're going to attract a person, perhaps a male, or anyway, somebody with a lot of masculine energy that is going to have the energy of a leader, and is going to be a person that is going to be very self-confident, quite powerful, perhaps have the ability to influence a group of people. Perhaps they are actually a boss, or they are the leader of some type of organization, and they could come out as cocky and a bit full of themselves and a bit stubborn, and also extremely serious, because they are very determined to achieve their goals. So they are quite future and goal oriented, and they are quite material. They could look like materialistic people. They really care about their money, and Yeah, this is the type of energy that you are most likely going to attract because they're going to be so self confident and so have this bossy energy. It could potentially trigger some anxious attachment within you, especially if you come from the Empress in reverse, in which you are in the process of learning how to believe that you are worthy of love, to believe that you're important, to believe that people would put you on a pedestal, they would treat you like a queen. So if you find a person that is extremely independent, that is not at all attached to their phone, that is so busy with their work and doesn't really like to exchange text messages, and perhaps is a type of person that is very practical and organized but doesn't really spend a lot of time in being romantic, this could trigger some anxiety within you, if especially you are one of those people that needs like me, for example. I need a lot of reassurance and a lot of comforting messages and confirmations that the person is still thinking of me, that is still interested in me, that is still liking me. So if instead you hear this person once per week or the day before the date, and then you don't hear him for the rest of the week, it could be a little hard for you. But I have to say, this all has a purpose for you to grow. Like you have gotten here, this beautiful the squirrel that talks about growth, and she is so cute. She's hugging a flower that is taller than her, and so I feel that this flower could represent your self love. It's going to grow so big you can't even recognize that the seed started within your heart. And then you have the oak Ogham say, which is the Ogham that speaks about strength and security and leaderships and being protected in your journey, and believing in yourself, believing in your knowledge and transforming it into wisdom. So this is all about claiming your inner power. You are the oak tree, and you have an inner strength that perhaps it took you a long time to recognize, or you are in the process to recognize. I feel that perhaps for sometimes your happiness was depending on other people treating you well, and instead now your self love is growing so much that even in the occasion in which you find people that are really not good at showing how much they appreciate you, perhaps they do even the opposite. Your inner self love is your yeah, your self love is so big right now. Is growing even bigger than you, that whatever happened on the external world is not really touching you. Is not reverberating, is not creating a storm inside of you. Because if you know, for example, that you look sexy in a cottagecore dress, and somebody comes and say, I wish you would dress up more sexy. You look like a farmer. If somebody would say something that disgusting and insulting, you would not go back home believing those words and be like, oh my God, they're so right. I need to change my style altogether. How could people possibly like me? I look terrible. I need to put more effort and I'm so embarrassed. No, you would be like, how dare they tell me what style of clothing should I wear? How obnoxious and arrogant. Why do they even believe that I need to be liked by them? Do you see the difference in the approach you have in this situation? So this is exactly what you are building. It's not so much the perfect relationship. You are building the perfect relationship with yourself that is going to protect you from any sort of anxiety that used to be triggered before by harsh personalities that wouldn't really appreciate you the way that you were. The magician is there as well, which is telling me you're in a perfect place in your life in which you can actually manifest the right situation. You can be in the right time and the right place, meeting the right people. But you have to focus on the positive thoughts, on positive thinking, and believe in the power of positive thinking. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen to everybody. Even though I used to believe that the law of attraction was at the core of everything, it is. There's many more elements in life that are integrating each other. So I believe sometimes certain things are part of our fate and destiny are stronger than us, and no matter how much we work on the law of attraction, we still have to experience certain things. They're part of our core path. But I feel that right now you personally have a lot of freedom in attracting whatever atmosphere, environment, situation that you'd like to attract. So if you do the inner work, then you'll be able to attract a good, healthy emperor that is going to put you up on a pedestal, that is going to pamper you with gifts, that is going to provide for you, rather than the obnoxious, narcissistic leader that thinks the best of himself and thinks so little of everybody else. Okay, so you literally have the power to decide. So let's get more cards. I know these readings are quite long. I don't know why, but I always seem to stay between 20 and 30 minutes. But you can always speed up, because I know that I don't speak very fast. So feel free to speed up the video. So that's what I do when I listen to myself again. Sometimes I choose my videos to answer to certain questions that I have, especially, old videos that I don't even remember what they were about. And I listen to myself in the double speed because I can't handle how slow I speak. Isn't it funny? But yeah, so feel free to do that. Okay, so we're going to get some cards from an oracle deck that has lots of elements from numerology to astrology to tarot, and as well as oracle guidance. It's really cool. It needs some effort in interpreting them, but I think that they give us lots of detailed answers. So who are you most likely going to attract in the near future, please and thank you? What is pile number 2's love life going to look like? Please and thank you. The Amazonite crystal as well brings a lot of inner peace, which I feel it is going to counteract the energy of anxiety of the Nine of Swords that you are initially struggling with. So I feel like you're going to overcome that. For pile number 2, please and thank you. Prediction for their love life for the near future. You have hope. I love this with this tag. You have confusion with the octopus. And then you have the 6th house card. It's in reverse though, so I wonder if we have to focus on those keywords that are more on the less positive side, or on the opposite meaning of them. Like the 6th house is the house in general. I know it's the house of health and work and service to others, as well as nutrition and well-being. So you could possibly have to pay attention to how you are neglecting your work and your health and your nutrition and your diet and your well-being, because you're so confused by your love matter and so hopeful about finding the right person. Again, you have to come back to yourself. And the oak as well is the card of grounding yourself to be in the present moment. So it could be that you're going to be in the near future, attracted to or tending to those attitudes that belong to the past, in which you're so anxiously attached to the new people that you're dating with or that you're romantically involved with, that you're slowly, forgetting about yourself, forgetting about your needs, forgetting to drink, to eat, to use the bathroom, to go for a walk, to breathe. So it's important that you use the oak symbol as your talisman. You bring it, carry it with you to remind you to be grounded and present, and to remember who you are and what a gorgeous queen or king you are, and how much your inner peace cannot at all be compromised by another person that you are potentially putting up on a pedestal, or that is not even giving you the confirmation and the reassurance that they are there for you, that they are present. So they really do not deserve your attention. Okay, so pay attention to this, to potentially threaten the themes of the sixth house. Let's find out more. Then we have the card number 2. It was in reverse. So again, this could be talking, instead of talking about balance and harmony in partnership and being patient and being flexible and carrying more goals, like following more goals at the same time. This is the card of like the opposite meaning. So you have to be careful of relationship in which you could potentially attract disharmony and threaten your inner balance, and there is a tendency of going towards the opposite of moderation. So if you see somebody new, you could be drinking too much on a date. You could be wanting to see him every single day, and maybe that's a little too much for you. Maybe some people can handle it, but in your case, you have to come back and plug yourself in at home, in the place that you call home, in which you can find inner peace. You have to recharge yourself by spending time alone. I feel like there is a tendency of like not respecting your rules. For example, if you decided, I do not want to sleep with this person for the first 3 months, there is a tendency of like saying, F the rules, I'm just going to do whatever I want right now. But there is this tendency of exaggerating and doing more than you can hold, and taking a less methodic approach, and just you just need to be careful, because I feel like you throw yourself in with your whole body, your whole soul whenever you meet somebody new, and that could potentially bring some disruption in your life work balance, in your mental health balance, in your health balance, etc. Perhaps you could forget about your friends, and because you're so involved with your partner, you forget about your family, etc. And then we have the card of the 0, the card of potential, the card of new beginnings, the card of freedom as well, and the card of cycles. So it was in reverse. Again, it makes me feel like you don't want to get into a relationship that is holding back your freedom, and also you want to give time. Yes, maybe, like, I feel like you are going to attract a situationship that has potential, but you need to give yourself time to analyze this potential and let it grow and let it blossom gently at its own natural time, following its natural cycles, rather than, abruptly gobble it all up and be like, no, you're mine, this is happening, this is it, let's get married next year. you need to give it time. I don't mean to offend or insult. Most likely, most of the time when I speak like that, I speak about myself, and the way, the way that I in the past, I would tend as well. I resonate with pile number two more than I did with pile. I didn't resonate with pile number one at all. But yeah, in pile number two, I can see some of my old patterns as well, and this tendency of being like, oh my goodness, I found the person. But you need to give it time. And then we have the card 6, and it was actually in the upright position, which is restore balance. Isn't this amazing? And reward. So if you do embrace the energy of the oak, of stability and of grounding, and of moving along your journeys in the safest way possible and in the wisest way possible, you're going to be rewarded. Because instead of choosing the path of being impulsive and putting your whole soul in all at once, and the opposite of moderation, like we said earlier, if instead of taking the path, you're more centered, and you give time to this flower to grow and to appreciate its colors instead of like picking it up and putting it in your salad and eating it straight away, you're going to be rewarded in the sense of creating a long-lasting relationship, creating a family, and you will perceive the calm after the storm. You will find that the balance in relationship is going to be restored. How beautiful. So let's get some Romance Angel cards, and then we end the reading. What is the potential of this new love that pile number 2 are going to attract in their life after doing all this beautiful inner work? Please and thank you. I would shuffle on the table so you could see, but there's not really space for my arms to do that as I have the tripod on the way. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Nice. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. And we were just mentioning to let the situation unfold and follow its natural cycle. So beautiful. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking. Oh my God, we were just talking about the power of positive thinking. I don't know why I keep getting surprised by divination. It works all the time. Trust the situation is calling for you to have faith. And that's important, that you work on trusting the people that you have in front of you instead of straight away think they're going to betray me. They're not being honest. They're not being faithful. Wasn't that the cards of anxiety, the Nine of Swords there? So that matches really well with the challenges that we've seen in this reading that could potentially pop up. So if you feel like you're struggling with the anxious attachment, it's important that you focus on trusting the other person as much as you can, and also ask them, could you please be so kind and give me some extra reassurance, because I'm not the usual type of gal that you find at the pub. I am more sensitive. I have more needs. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. That's beautiful. So I feel like it's not happening straight away. It's gonna need some time. And in the meantime, you could have some experiences of unrequited love. It could be that you're going to attract some people that you're not in love with, and or the opposite, that you are going to fall for the people that are not the right ones for you. And I saw that potentially happening with that emperor that we had here. you could potentially attract somebody that initially, is going to be very charming, but it ends up being sort of narcissistic personality, too cocky and too full of themselves. But that is going to be, it's going to be very easy for you to discern them eventually after you do all this grounding work and believing in yourself and building your self-love. So it's getting pretty dark. So I feel that you also have to pay attention to how much attracted you are to these people or not. You don't have to give yourself a hard time if you find that on paper they are perfect, but then you're not really attracted to them. It doesn't mean you're superficial. I mean, like, we're human being. We are completely filled up with hormones. We work through hormones, and it is part of how we're made. And I think it's totally okay to desire to be physically attracted to the person you want to be with. Maybe you can give it some time. I have seen it, like, not being attracted to somebody initially, but then after I gave it some time to get to know them, and I fell in love with their soul, and they looked like a god all of a sudden. So that can happen, so give it some time. And finally, there is a card of reconciliation at the bottom. So it could be that for some of you, somebody is returning from the past. And the card number 6 that we found before as well is, it brings back the same messages of the 6 of Cups. That is all about reconciliation as well, and with somebody from the past. So I didn't say it before when I saw it, but that's what it reminds me of, because restore balance, harmonious energy. Yeah, the 6 is the cards, the number of reconciliation. So it's funny how the same card at the bottom brings back the same theme. So that could be something that is going to happen for you. Let me know how this is going to unfold. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to see what's happening for you in the near future. So save this video and come back again to let me know, and get in touch if you like a private reading, if you like to get more details, if you like to ask some more specific questions. And don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below. It helps me so much with the growth of my channel. And thank you so much for your patience if you know me and you have seen me being absent for some time. Thanks so much for still believing in me, and I appreciate you. See you next time. Much love. Hello my loves, and welcome to your reading. If you have picked pile number 3 with the Nourish card, the Panda, the Peridot Crystal, and the Heather Owens Dave. So the first 3 cards that we have here are going to actually describe your current situation. So if you feel like you're resonating very well with those, then you can go ahead and continue listening to this pile. Otherwise, you can try with the other ones, especially if you had some doubt initially whether this was the right one for you or not. So the Hermit, like, it just speaks as itself. It tells me that currently you are most likely not in a relationship, or even if you have people interested around you, perhaps you believe that they are only after getting their needs met and they're not being very genuine. So you have this tendency to, at least recently, you rather prefer spending time on your own, doing some soul search, doing some shadow work, studying, creating something that represents your inner passions. You want to find out who you truly are, what your limits are, what your dreams are. You're just diving deep inside this beautiful cave that represents your soul, and you have this beautiful magical lantern in your hand, and you're being really brave facing the darkness. And oftentimes we have to do this by ourselves. So I feel that, yeah, this is where you are right now. With the 7 of Swords could also represent you perhaps not being very honest with yourself in relationships regarding what is it that you are looking for or not. And if you have some connection with others, perhaps you're finding it hard being completely honest. So you could have the tendency to people please them, to people please, instead of saying, right now I don't have time for a relationship. I need to spend the whole weekend by myself to do the things that I really care for, that are really important to me right now. Perhaps you find it hard to say to others. There could be this tendency to betray yourself. Also, what I'm seeing is perhaps you're really closed off regarding relationship because you've had people stealing from you, betraying you, cheating on you, being really nasty with that Seven of Swords, or sneaking away at night without telling anybody and just vanishing in thin air. And you were like, what happened to yesterday? What happened? So the Nine of Pentacles could be you feeling like on an emotional level, a material level, you're not satisfied with life. You're not very happy on your own, but at the same time you're scared to enter in a situation where you're going to betray again. You're going to feel betrayed again. So let me know if this is representing you. And I know it is not going to represent the whole population. Not everybody is in this situation. But if you are, then continue listening to the rest of the video, the rest of the reading. And it's beautiful because you're gonna embrace, you're gonna attract a lot of clarity with that Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords as well. The Knight of Swords especially reminds me of a person that is going to approach you in a very determined way, in a very brave way, and frank and honest and upfront. And I think this is going to brighten up your world. You're going to be like, oh my goodness. You're going to have goosebumps all over. Like, what do you mean that I can actually find people that are 100% honest and that are not scared of their shadows, and they simply blurt it out as if it was the most normal thing in the world? What do you mean? How did I not find these people before? So I feel like you're gonna have a breakthrough in that sense. You're gonna feel extremely stimulated mentally. So I feel that all this work that you've done internally, facing your darkness, facing your shadows, studying yourself, studying your psyche, has helped you to match the same energy of these people that are coming hot, really frank and honest and transparent people, and that are also incredibly intelligent and emotionally mature. They can speak about their emotions even if it is hard. And also they know exactly what they want because they too have spent time on their own. And so they waste no time. They go straight for it. This is quite of a fast energy. The Knight of Swords is the fastest of the knights. So this could also come out of the blue and surprise you in some type of way. It could even, I don't know, I have this image of somebody literally asking you to hop on their motorbike and going, to a party or something, or to just enjoy driving along the coast and watching the starry night. Somebody that is going to bring some level of adventure, and somebody that wants to get to know you fast as well. Somebody that will have deep conversation and will feel inspired to talk about anything with you. You never have a moment where you don't know what to say to each other. So that's really exciting energy. The Five of Cups is telling me that you're still going to have some reservations It could be that you're still focusing on the things that didn't work in the past rather than focusing on the things that are working right now. So there's going to be a bit of that energy, perhaps missing somebody from the past, having nostalgia of the past, still hurting from something that happened, or still giving yourself a hard time for a mistake that you have done. Or I'm even thinking if you hit on very well on a mental level with this new person, or even an already existing person, but that all of a sudden you're the match is sparking. Um, it could be that you're very happy about the connection that you have mentally, but you're gonna be like, oh, there's something missing. I don't know what it is, but there's some type of passion that I'm missing. Some type, maybe I don't like his smell. Maybe I don't like the taste of his kisses. Maybe I don't like that they're not exactly like my previous partner. That's what it could be the problem. Maybe they're maybe they're too skinny, and they have a lot of air element in their physiognomy, and in your previous partner was a lot bulkier, more like a panda or a rhino. And so you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. It's very different from what I was used to. Let's see. I have a couple of decks that I want to use. One is called the Everglow Oracle, which includes lots of elements from numerology to astrology to tarot, as well as normal oracle cards. It's really interesting. It needs an extra effort in interpreting the cards, but I feel like they give a more detailed view of the situation. So what is Palometry attracting in their love life, please and thank you? You have the third house. That's crazy. It's the heart of communication. The card of communication and the Ace of Swords and Knight of Swords, the sword suits represent the mental realm, the ability to express yourself. It's all about the communication as well. So the third house is also the house of siblings and neighbors and your local community. So I wonder if you are going to actually connect with somebody in your local community, or perhaps you're going to give some speech in your local community, and that's how you're going to create new connections, or you're going to go for a small trip and that's how you're going to meet your new person. The third house is also in reverse, so I'm also wondering whether you actually want to try to escape from your local community. In some cases, that could be the reason why the card was in reverse. And then you'd rather walk a little further and travel a little further because you don't want your local community to be too involved with your personal private life. And the second card is Potential, which is beautiful. And then the third card is Play, although it was in the reverse card. That makes sense on top of the Five of Cups in the reverse position. Let's get some more. We have the seventh house in the reverse position. This is the house of relationships and partnerships. And then we have the Queen, for some reason again, in the reverse position. And finally, we have Balance. Lovely. So I have the feeling that you have the potential to meet somebody in your local community, but then you guys would rather stay away from, hanging out with friends in common, or, being at the local libraries or the local church, and you'd rather just stay away and go and spend the weekend far away where nobody can actually see you, so you have a little you guys are not interested in being too light-hearted and playful. I mean, that is good, but you don't want to play without the other person's feelings, and they don't want to play with your feelings either. So I feel like it's going to be a serious connection. For some of you, it is a connection with a woman, and you never considered that before. If it could be that you are a woman, and for the first time you're gonna opening yourself up to a connection with another woman. Or if you are a gay man and you realize you're actually bi-curious and would like to get to know a deeper this female figure that appeared in your life. There's still some doubt about it because it's in the reverse position. So it is all about testing the waters and see where it is going to go. The seven houses in reverse, so there could be some obstacles in transforming this seed into an actual tree. There could be some hesitation in actually turning this connection into a relationship, or simply the lack of knowing. You don't want to jump in a relationship straight away when you don't know exactly if you are a good match. So you want to be, you both are very serious. You want to be very careful. And so I feel that it's going to be a very healthy connection and balanced connection, because we have the balance card as well. And you guys are going to take the time to explore this connection in a very peaceful way, non-rushed way. You have the header as well, which is the card of getting in touch with the spiritual realms, with people that has passed away, or as well getting messages from your spirit guides. Then we have the card of nourish, and somehow it also speaks about going into a direction without finding any obstacles. And whenever something great happens, do not take the claim for yourself, but believe in a bigger force of the universe that actually allowed you to experience that. So it's the humbling down of the ego. And I sense that actually this means nourishing the connection without necessarily showing off about it and making a public matter so that a lot of people find out about it. Like, the best way to allow this potential relationship to unfold is to keep it private. That's what I'm getting. To unfold without obstacles is to keep it private, and try not to go and flag around. I found this amazing person. I never thought I could be interested. She's like an exotic flower. I'm so lucky that I found her. Try to fly low. That's what I'm getting here. I feel like you're going to be spiritually guided towards this connection. You're going to get signs from the universe that this is the right connection for you. But you're going to be extremely wise about it. I want to get some messages from the Romance Angel cards. Please and thank you for pile number 3. How is their love life going to look like in the near future? I feel like because the Queen card is in reverse, it could also be that it is a hidden, it could be a hidden relationship that you guys are going to keep a secret for some time, at least initially, in order to keep it safe. Just like you would keep hidden, like you little chicks if you were. if you were a robin or whatever bird and you want to protect them until they have their own wings to fly in your safe cozy nest. Okay, for bottom number 3, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. That makes sense that you are considering, perhaps the connection with same-sex relationship, or the opposite sex of what you're normally attracted to, because the chemistry is so strong and is just taking you by surprise. We also have retreat. We were just mentioning the idea of going a little further than your local community and disconnect from the world. We also have it is safe for you to love, and I feel that this is such an important message for you, especially because you come from the Hermit card that is under there and the Seven of Swords that was all about feeling betrayed, feeling like it's really hard to trust other people because they did something wrong to you. Sorry if it's getting a bit dark, but it is sunset already, even though it's only 4:30, but that's what happened in Ireland. Then let's see some more cards. We have, oh my god, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Then we have separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So it could be that at some point one of you has to leave the neighborhood for some times, and that will put the relationship to the test. But I feel like you guys are going to be able to keep it harmonious, to not, for the first time I feel like you're going to feel like I can trust this person no matter the distance, because you created such a solid, healthy foundation, because you build it up really slowly and carefully and cautiously. You nourished each other so nicely, and you feel like this connection is spiritually guided. And also the peridot, it reminds you, it's the color of the forest, and whenever you are in the middle of the forest you feel extremely calm and grounded and centered and safe, and at peace. So I feel like this is what this connection is making you feel like. And then finally we have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. And that is making me realize that the reason why you got the header OM stave here is because you guys are going to have a shared interest perhaps in spirituality, and that's why it feels so powerful and meaningful, this relationship, and that's why you feel like you can actually trust it more than the previous relationship you had in the past. So whether you are about into divination, whether you're about into the law of attraction, whether you're about into Reiki or healing energies, and you're gonna find that it's going to be much easier to bond with each other because of these shared interests, and you're gonna realize that you didn't know how much you needed this type of reciprocal understanding, how much you needed to share these interests with your significant other. You thought you could simply go past it and ignore it, that you didn't need them to be into the same things that you are. But now that you're going to meet this person, you're going to realize this is actually making such a big difference. I never knew how much I needed this. How beautiful. And then at the bottom of the card we have flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So I feel like this connection most likely is going to happen. Okay, perhaps it's going to spark out of a shared interest. Perhaps you meet, in a local group about astrology or whatever, a tarot group, and you realize how easy it is to talk to each other, and to, there's never a dull moment in your conversation. So initially it starts like a simple friendship or, getting to know another person that is into the same thing that you are. But then eventually you start feeling that there is flirty energy, that there is a lot of chemistry. You're like, oh my goodness, they're not the same sex that I normally would go for. What is going on? And you're gonna have to overcome some obstacles about trusting new people, because you were coming from a phase in which you were really happy to be on your own and you really couldn't trust anybody, but all of a sudden this person is coming out of nowhere, something so unexpected, but also that feels so divinely guided. So it really feels right. How lucky you're going to be to have this beautiful connection. And like I said, for the first time, you're going to feel calm, instead of having, being triggered, feeling anxious. Even if they go away for a trip for a few weeks, you're going to be like, it's fine, because I know we have a really special bond, that we were meant to meet each other. So beautiful. So let me know if this resonated. It was lovely to read the cards for you. Get in touch for private reading if you need one, and stay tuned for any other new videos upcoming. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment if you like. I will answer to each one of you, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up as well. And I'll see you next time. Have a great time. Best of luck with your love life.